Cannabis farmers, many of them, most of them, are in crisis after they had high hopes of making some good money from cannabis crops.
They say New York State has made missteps, leaving them high and dry. Right now, we're joined by Jeanette Miller, who founded the Eclectic Farmstead in Newfane. Jeanette, thank you so much for taking the time to be here this afternoon.
Thank you guys for having me.
So paint the picture for us about what this suit entails. I know it suggests financial ruin. What has it been like for you since the last time we spoke with you?
Well, so as we know, the rollout has not been ideal. It was geared towards social equity. It wasn't geared towards bringing in registered organization, medical facilities, or multi-state operators, or an illegal market from cannabis that wasn't, legally here in New York. Rollout, much like the hemp rollout, it failed to provide retail to the cannabis farmers. So the original cultivators like myself had already been in a failed cannabis rollout for CBD that did not provide a retail. We were told if we would grow underneath the cannabis recreational, that they would provide that retail to us as an amend, like making up for this failed original cannabis rollout. Now twice, thus 280 or so cultivators have rolled out the cannabis industry on our back. New York is realizing $800 million, close to $1 billion market. 97% of us have not realized 1% of profit. Where is this going? New York State has rulemaking procedures that go with the laws that they make. They ask for risk statements, impact statements, and they continue to license people, but they fail to do the impact statements to see that they're harming the social equity, while medical cannabis and maybe out of state and other cannabis are flooding the New York market.
In addition to, of course, regulations that New York is requiring of farmers, cultivators, growers, and then everything down regulation-wise, they also made a tremendous amount of promises, especially to farmers and especially to retailers, both of whom they were asked to get in on the ground floor, get in early, put your faith and, more importantly, your money into this, into us, have faith in us, and we'll get you paid. And that's never happened. How does it feel to have such empty promises from the state?
Well, New York State told us it was a privilege to do business with them, that when we went into and got these licenses, that it's a privilege to do business with them. And we trusted that when they promised us retail stores at the end of 2022, that would happen, and it didn't. And as being, social equity people, but we're also business people. Like, this isn't failed business mistakes on our end. We grew the high quality cannabis. They failed to provide us the retail. We were forced to then put our product into processors who maybe took advantage of some situations there, who are making money in the realized market right now, where we had to save our product by getting it processed so it wouldn't continue to degrade. We've continued to roll out all of these. Most of my cannabis from 2022 went to a processor who took 50% of that, and his product went to market, mine's still sitting in distillate.
We know there are a tremendous amount of deficiencies with how New York has rolled out its program and how it's operated it. There have been changes at the top. It has been a huge, huge mess. And that is from all sides of this argument. There is not one person that would dispute that, I think. I think the idea for you guys is you're following the rules. Are you getting anything for following the state's rules?
No, following the rules is what we wanted to come into as the legacy people of New York State. We wanted to do this the right way and be in business the right way. And it has provided us just with financial hardship and a lot of lost time. More than the financial hardship that has been lost of this, I've lost time in my life to have a family and do the things that I wanted to realize. I lost a friend who took his life because I could not because I couldn't, but I didn't get to my goal where I could have realized having my cannabis thing. These young people that I wanted to help, I could have brought into this. He was working with me. It wasn't realized. We're losing time, we're losing people, things that we can't pick back that are more important than the money that they've also failed to help us realize in this almost billion-dollar market when we're the only cultivators of legal cannabis in New York State.
You mentioned before having all this surplus of product. As a cultivator and a farmer, how do you make that decision to keep putting forth this product knowing it may not be used, you may not have anything to do with it?
Right, exactly. So my choice back in 2022 was to try to hold on to it to get it to flower to the market, but there was no market, so I had to go with the processor. Now I have the distillate, and I'm hoping to move forward. I did receive my micro business license, and I have product moving forward. Luckily, there are retail stores that understand, like New York, that understand we are craft cultivators and we're small businesses. And when I walk into some of these stores like that, they specifically want to bring us into the stores where other stores don't. So really, It's finding a partnership now with these retailers who understand, because, general society doesn't. They just see the numbers, and, all the stores don't understand either.
Isn't it interesting what you just said? Tell me if I'm incorrect in repeating this to you, that the state is not helping farmers or anyone else in this, but the people within the industry. You're going to a retail person. It's people within the industry that are helping each other, not the state, which is supposed to be responsible for it, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a
has
little bit
not.
about because we got to let you go. We're out of time. The next steps for this lawsuit, because it is a thick lawsuit, it is deep. What can folks expect to hear in the coming maybe weeks, months, and/or year?
Well, we testified in front of the Senate last year, and there was 81 testimonies of cannabis farmers out of the 200 that were 80 that were submitted then. And we are going to be bringing back this and hopefully having more discovery and getting it further in to where where the details of this rollout can be finally figured out, and how it did fail, not only fail, but harm the social equity it was meant to help.
This certainly is a story we will continue following. Jeanette, thank you so much for taking the time to be here this afternoon.
Thank you guys for having me here and in the studio. I appreciate you.
Thank you.